Hello, everyone. This is Korah and I's first podcast. I wanted to preface. Before the video starts, I wanted to say that this was filmed in August. Korah and I had the idea to start a podcast for a really long time, since 2021 Christmas. And we wanted to start a podcast called Shiver because when we're cold, we make a lot of funny noises. Shiver tunes. So we wanted to be in the cold, making our funny noises while talking. Anyway, it took me 3 months to edit the video. I don't know why. For some reason I could not sync the audio. I have a Shiver Tunes channel if you want to go follow it. I don't know how frequently we'll be posting podcasts because Korah and I are currently apart. We used to live together. And also Korah has a job, so she's a very busy bee now. And we don't really know when we'll be posting them or if we'll be posting consistently. But I still wanted to post this one even though it's old, so enjoy the video. Also, there will be little chapters in the bottom, so you can skip to any section. If you find something boring, you can just skip to a section that you like or a topic. Do you want to be the first person to say something?
This Shiver Tunes.
It's supposed to be cold, but it's hot.
Yeah, it was supposed to be done in the winter. But we botched it. What do you call that when you
when you it up?
Yeah. No, but when you're, how people with college work, they think too much about it, so they can't do it.
Wait, what?
You know what I'm talking about? I always forget that word.
Overthink it?
Yeah, or something. It's a better word, but yeah.
Oh wait, we forgot our papers.
Oh yeah, we did.
Sorry. Sorry we're so awkward. We have no idea what we're doing, and we're we're little socially inept humans.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like in my head this probably would have gone a lot better, but now that I'm actually here, I'm at a loss for words, which is I guess pretty common when you actually end up doing something.
I think it'll be fine because we have 30 minutes to get into flow, so we can
True.
We can get into it.
Yeah.
Also, my microphone will probably cut out through the middle of this because I had to delete a bunch of storage. And there's still many photos on my phone. That's what I'm recording the mic on.
Yeah, honestly, I would have helped by using my phone, but it's got I downloaded Stardew Valley, and that takes up 90% of my storage. So.
Do you want to talk about Stardew Valley?
It's a real coping mechanism. If you're ever sad and you want to not think, you just farm and grow parsnips on Stardew, and everything's just good until you turn it off. So
my hand keeps shaking.
yeah, your little thumb twitchies. It used to happen to me when I'd hold my phone. My thumb would just violently
I wonder if you could hear it on the mic, my thumb moving.
It's just wavy. It's when you...
Oh no, that would suck.
That would suck. Do you want to hold it?
Maybe.
I'm kind of shaky, but I think I might be better. Yeah.
So I'm Cherish, and that's Korah.
Hi.
And we are best friends. How are we even gonna start this? Like, our goals?
Yeah.
Goals of making a podcast. Hello. We wanted to start out by like telling our goals of like why we're here and why we're making a podcast instead of like just being like, hello, let's talk about nuts for an hour. Pecans.
Our first podcast, just about like pistachios and walnuts.
Can we do that as a troll?
Actually, yeah. So I guess like goals might be like slightly different for the both of us, but personally I kind of just want to like, you know, not reach out to people, but be like maybe a comfort zone, or like help people in some way who might be going through a lot of shizazz.
I basically have the same goal, but like different. I feel like I'm gonna cry.
Cry. Safe space, right?
Cries on first podcast. I'm like, hello. It's hard to like word it without like crying more. Wait, I wrote it down. To make other people as happy as I've been watching YouTube.
Yeah, that's a good yeah.
I've been watching YouTube since I was in like 11th grade. No, not 11th grade. Since I was 11. And like my sister showed it to me, and so ever since then I just couldn't stop watching it.
See, now I'm like a little less intimate about it. I'm like, I used to love Onision.
I don't know if I have any other goals though. Maybe like to have fun and like do something with my life. It's like I do a lot of nothing. So what about you? Do you have any other goals?
I think maybe to like connect with people in a way that I wouldn't be able to like just by talking to random people on the street, you know? Maybe like open up a door for like, you know, some kind of weird relationship between us and our audience, you know? Like it could be really good if we do it right.
Yeah, it's always cool when I see those podcasts with like they have people email and write in and they're like, hi, been watching the show, and like they'll like comment back and forth on things they've been talking about in the podcast. I don't know, it's cool.
Yeah, I feel like that personally, I feel like I'm really excited for that, like to get to know people kind of, for, you know, vice versa.
We have no viewers. There's no one over there. They're like, get to know who.
Yeah, right? No, like one comment, it's from like Eric.
That would be so cool if Eric watched our podcast.
I know.
Shout out to Eric if you're watching this.
Yeah, we love Eric.
Hopefully he is watching.
Yeah.
Friendship?
Yeah,
we friends.
Yeah, we're good friends. I feel like, you know, that's another thing that's like really nice is when you have like a really good friendship. I guess you don't really need to like, there's some things you don't really need to converse super in depth about to like know where you're coming from with it, you know?
Oh, I love that when you could just like silently communicate even.
Yeah.
Like you'll just look at each other, you're like
I feel like we're gonna have to remember that, like with the podcast, we're like silently communicating. We have to remember that.
Yeah.
Not everyone is part of our weird little friendship
situation. Oh God.
Right. I don't know. How do you even approach that?
So Korah lived with me for a while. Do you want to tell why you lived with me?
Well, basically, I had this friend that I moved in with. I had graduated from high school, and then I moved in with my friend, and she, after about a year or so, things started to go really bad, and she fucked me over big time, so I ended up moving in with Cherish at her place, with her dogs. I love those dogs.
I don't even know how to, like, get into that.
Yeah.
Like,
that might not be, like, the best. Like, I don't think that...
So we lived together for, like, I'd say a year almost, because, yeah, a year, and then, like, as soon as the same time, like, the time, I think you moved in July, and then we also got kicked out in July.
Yeah.
Also, we got kicked out. Oh, actually, I did. Korah didn't do anything wrong at all. I don't know if I'm, like, comfortable with going into details with that, but it was a really messed up time, and I'm glad to, like, be here, and, like, I'm at Erica's, which is my other best friend. The other friend. That'd be funny if you guys, like, fought all the time.
Oh, that would be hella funny. But she's, like, the long-term friend, so I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna touch that. Like, I do think she's really sweet. Erica's awesome, too.
It's like that iCarly episode where that old friend comes, and then she poisons her with chocolate.
True. No, you're right.
That would be funny.
There can be only one.
Oh. Wait, what were we talking about?
I think we were just talking about, like, the situation.
Oh yeah, I'm at Erica's, so I'm, like, happy to not be on the streets and stuff. And, like, I'm very glad to, like, be alive. So I'm not off too bad. Like, no one has to worry. What about you?
I'm a bit of a hobo right now. I went to stay with my Nana for a while, and things were going pretty okay. And, you know, when you live with, you know, kind of abusive people, things just don't end up working out very well. So I'm out of my Nana's now, and I'm trying to get into a shelter. I mean, it's not, like, something that I'm really confident about saying, like, that I'm homeless, but I guess it's one thing that I really wanted to focus on in the podcast was that it's, like, okay to talk about things that aren't okay, you know, and it's, like, okay to be homeless. Like, it's a really big taboo. People will look at you very differently if you're homeless, but some people just kind of were put into really bad situations, and I think we happen to be.
Yeah, I never knew how easy it was to just become homeless. Like, I didn't know that, like, your home could just be ripped away from you at any point. I thought it was, like, something that's, like, you're supposed to have, which you are, but, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's not like, you know, I feel like it's really easy to judge until you're in that situation where you have nowhere to go.
What are some things you've learned being homeless?
That there's a certain level of entitlement that comes with having a long-term home. And when you lose that, you kind of start to realize that the world really doesn't revolve around you and your feelings. And even if you're having the shittiest time, it's not really up to people to save you. What I've learned personally is that if I want to have a home and to be safe and happy, I need to save myself. So I think that's the biggest thing for me is that, you know, I think at some point you just have to realize you have to be self-sufficient or you will fail. Unless you have, like, something to crash back on, you know, a lot of people do, and that's not bad at all. You know, it's just kind of something that not everybody has.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that, like, we're able to be self-sufficient too, like, whereas, like, some people, like, they have to rely on others.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, we can cut all the silence. Like,
okay, cool.
Anything that you don't want me to put in there, I'll like cut out. And I'll also send you the video before I post it, obviously.
Well, I think my biggest goal, I don't know about you, but I think my biggest goal is to definitely, like, get a place with you at some point. You know, I feel like
I've been dreaming about that. Dude, like, I'm always afraid that you won't want to live with me or something. I know you do, but, like, deep down, I'm like, what if she doesn't want to live with me?
I don't think that I could live alone. Like, I think that there's some level of, like, it doesn't just have to do with loneliness. It has a lot to do with, like, when you feel like you're connected to somebody, it's, like, kind of uncomfortable not being around. You know, like, being a far distance away from you constantly doesn't exactly feel right.
Yeah. I mean, same. Like, even when I have a family in my own house, like, I want you to come over every single day.
Yeah.
I want you to even, like, live in the attic.
Yeah.
Unless you don't want to. It's fine.
I live in an attic.
Your family has the top, and my family has the bottom story.
Yeah. I honestly would love, like, you know, if you're, like, in a triangle house, you know, those, like, the attic is actually, like, the coolest room. You're, like, in this weird triangle roofed room.
Oh, we should talk about, like, one thing you want to do once we get a house. I mean, I know that's in, like, way future, but, like, what's one thing you're super excited to do?
I've always, you know, I've never had the advantage of being able to decorate how I've always wanted to. And I think one thing I really want to do when I get a house is to make it feel like home. Because when you're, like, kind of switching homes a lot, you don't really get to feel personal in the homes. It's just kind of visiting other people's homes. For me, it's a lot of, like, I want to personalize because I haven't really had the option to do that a lot. You know, and even when I do, it's just, like, hanging my dad's drawings and my family photos on the wall, and that's, like, really it. So I want to, like, create and buy things that I've never really been able to create or buy to decorate with, so I feel like I actually am at home instead of just in a home.
Your house would look so cool.
I know. I know that. So weird, though. You know, it'd be one of those houses.
Can you hand me that water?
Yeah, one of those houses that people walk into and they're like, this feels really disconcerting, but also super cool in a way. I want, like, one of those rich people houses, but not, like, rich, like, flat screen TVs everywhere, like, high ceilings, warm toned atmosphere, huge paintings, like that kind of rich.
Why is that house flashing? Do you see that? Was that doing that before?
I don't think it was doing that before. What does that mean?
I don't know. Well, the record's still on, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess until it, like, stops, then we've got that advantage. What about you? What do you, like, what is your first goal when we get a house together?
I want to cook whatever I want. And like, that's what I want to do. I just want to cook all day. That would be so fun. And then you could turn on, like, really loud music while you're cooking. You could sing to it.
Who is the first musician or band that you're gonna put on in the new house?
No, you have to be the first to put it on.
No, because then I'd choose something like John Coltrane or, like, Dizzy Gillespie.
I would choose Dos Las Guitarras.
Oh, okay, Apasupa.
Yeah.
That's actually, I think for both of us, that would be the best option.
We chant around the house while it's playing.
Yeah, that'd be good. That's a good option. Actually, that's really good. Yeah, good choice.
Fears about the podcast. Do you have any fears written down?
I don't have any fears written down, but I could give you an entire
Oh.
I don't even need to think about it. I'm like, this and this and this and this and this.
Well, what are some of your fears?
You know, I'm not, like, really used to being available to the public eye. I'm usually a very private person, so just knowing that anybody could access our videos and see my face and get to know me without me really knowing anything about them is a little disconcerting. And also, I have a lot of like insecurity issues. I'm like self-conscious, and I also, you know, I'm a good person, but sometimes I can say things that sound a little mean. Like, so
She can be harsh sometimes.
I can be very harsh, and one thing I value in myself is that I'm a very good person, so I don't want anybody to think something because of one thing that I say, because a lot of the time it just doesn't come out right, and I'm kind of afraid of that as well.
The way I described you to my friend, I was like, she's not mean, but she's really like energetic, like not like bubbly, but like I can't explain the word, but like
I think I'm just very passionate about everything.
That's a good word. Like, you're very like passionate.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it's about. We could be talking about like the company, you know, Billabong, and I'm like, hate Billabong with my entire like soul and heart.
What's Billabong?
I you know that it's one of those like mall companies that like kids used to buy in like 2011. You know, they like go to the mall and buy like a Billabong backpack and like some t-shirts. It was kind of like Rue 21 or like Abercrombie, you know.
I do like those places and how they smell.
I don't think I've ever been inside of them. I just know like
Airpost.
I don't think I did. I might have. I remember one time as a kid I went to the mall, and this was like we just got some money. I don't really know how. I'm sure that it was sourced unethically. But we went to the mall, and I remember going to the Vans part of the mall, and I got Vans. It was the first like real good pair of shoes that I ever got. And I really liked the smell of the Vans stores. So I have to agree with you on the smells thing. Like malls, just everywhere in the mall smells so good.
The pretzel place.
The pretzel place is my favorite part of the mall.
So good. Also, sorry I interrupted you a second ago. I have an interrupting problem.
I do too. It's okay.
That'd be funny. We're just like, no,
me.
No.
Yeah, me first. Well, I think it's more like we both have like kind of fast-paced thoughts. So before we like try to forget something, we're like, and then we realize that we interrupted.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, sorry.
We're like, donuts. Wait, sorry. What were you saying?
I'm like, I was just saying Oreos. You know.
My fears about the podcast is that I won't be able to be myself. But like, I'm doing fine so far. Like I thought I would. You know how sometimes people, like, as soon as the camera's on, like, their voice kind of changes and they're like different, and like it's not like their fault. They just like, it's because of a camera. And most people don't like a camera on them, so they get very different. So I was afraid that would happen to me, but I seem to be good, so that's good.
Yeah, you're honestly, I gotta say, you're acting like Cherish. I think I have that problem a little bit, but I think that's just in general. You know, I always kind of like when I'm under eye, I'll just kind of turn a little professional and softer. Whereas in real life, I'm like, I'm sort of like Spongebob's abrasive side sometimes.
Doodle Bob?
No. It's funny because every time I talk about SpongeBob's abrasive side, you're like, Doodle Bob? And I'm like, no, wait.
Every time. That's funny because
It's happened so many times.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, no, it's when you know how like the sponges have the green side, you know?
Oh.
SpongeBob got a green side.
Oh, I'm remembering it now.
Asshole. Yeah. So I guess I'm not really afraid of that, but I do, it does affect me. I do kind of change a little bit due to like different audiences. That kind of plays in my other fears though. Like I don't want people to think that I'm a piece of shiz. So you know, I probably will just naturally act a little different so people don't think that I'm like a mean person.
I wish I could be one of those weird people who, like, they're just in the street, they're like, hallelujah. Not like weird, like bad, like I wish I could be them. Like they're just dancing and they don't give a I want to do that.
Yeah, like that one girl that I feel like you might have met her, Kim. You know who I'm talking about? That Kim girl that dances around a lot. And I was mad at her at first because I was like, freak, you're so attention grabby. And then I realized later, I was like, I wish I could just dance in the middle of an empty parking lot.
I don't think I met her, but I do remember you telling me the dancing story and that she kept like twirling around and dancing, and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It was like, you're gonna make people look at us. Stop it. But now I'm like a little jelly.
We should go in the street and dance right now. Wait, no, that's unsafe.
Maybe a little bit, you know. But,
oh wait, I have something I wanted to read on here. You might have seen a little bit of it earlier. You might have seen. Is that the right?
Well, I don't think you might have saw a little bit. I think both of them kind of seem normal. Unless you're like, you know, I seen you in that parking lot. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you right now, that's the wrong way to say it.
It used to sound so wrong when people would say that, but now it's like, I've kind of gotten used to people saying that. Like, I've seen that. Like, it kind of sounds cool at this point.
It does kind of, you know, I've like yelled at so many people for it.
I went on Google and I looked up all the different synonyms for home, like a house, and I found some really funny stuff. So I wanted to read them to you.
Bungalow. I see that one.
Yeah. Or should I read the funny ones first?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll read those last because this is like the good part. Okay. Abode, castle, bungalow, dwellings, diggings. What? A hearth, casa, crib. Also, you can comment on any of these if you want.
I just like casa, you know, because like I'll use casa. I'm like, that's my casa. Good.
Welcome to mi casa.
Yeah, mi casa, su casa.
Crib.
Yeah, the crib's good.
Miami cribs. Crash pad, den, joint, quarters. My quarters. Oh, a barack, a large, unadorned building used for temporary occupancy. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I think that is barracks.
Oh, yeah, like I'm gonna send you to my barracks.
Yeah.
Do you want to read the funny ones?
Hole. My habit hole. Whereabouts. Street.
Street.
Yeah. Our home.
That was actually on the synonyms. I was like, oh, offensive.
Yeah, a little bit. Nest. I like that. Igloo. Cave. Being ones.
Oh, being one's
self. Okay, I think that's like. Oh, okay.
Oh, that was probably something I had. I'm like,
yeah, no, I see that.
Being oneself is like home.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
that's our our cue.
We'll be back in 10 to 20 minutes. Maybe. Bye. Welcome back. We are now outside with Erica's chalk. Erica did not want to be in the podcast though. But she's very cute. She has pink hair. There's always pink hairs everywhere. You can be like, oh, it's from Erica.
See, I love that when like I find one of your hairs on me. It makes me feel like I'm connected to you. Like find one in my sock. I'm like, oh, it's cherish hair.
Yeah, same. That's how I feel about Erica's hair. Like, I'm like, oh, I know it's hers too, because it's bright pink.
Yeah, yours is like very bright orangey.
Also, sorry if this is crooked.
I think it is.
Or looking bad. I'll try and fix it in editing, but I'm not sure if my skills are that high. Like, what are we gonna talk about?
We were gonna explain how we came up with the name Shiver Tunes, and I also wanted to introduce Chops because I love Chops.
Chops, say something.
He's speaking, you just can't hear.
This is Korah's other best friend.
Yeah.
No, just joking. This is her soulmate's lifelong friend, Chops. He is a cow.
Yeah, I've had him for a very long time.
One time we thought we left him at the park because our memory is so bad. We didn't know that we had him. And we were like, oh no, did we leave Chops? And then 2 seconds later we found him. We were like,
yeah, that's always a mini heart attack for me. Actually feel my heart sink into my
yeah,
stomach.
your face was
Yeah, well, because I thought I left him at Gold Beach once and also the Redwoods. So I'm I've just had so much experience with almost losing him. Oh, I think this has plastic on it here.
It is. But my fingernail's not sharp enough.
I don't even have nails. I'll just... there we go.
Yay!
Use a little bit of my grip thumb strength from constantly touching my tobacco pipe.
Oh, did you want to talk about regressing?
Yeah, that is something that I feel should be, if nobody else will do it, I guess we gotta be the ones to destigmatize it.
Yeah, I think I knew one girl who talked on YouTube about regressing, and she was it was a little strange. I don't know. Yeah. She wasn't the best example.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Not. I think that a lot of people won't talk about it because it always has a negative connotation to it. It always has some underlying alternate meaning to people, but I think that it's really just separate. It's a different thing.
Oh yes, I have another angle, but it probably won't be shown all the time because I have to hold it up to see it. But maybe you could see some cool chalk stuff if we make anything.
I just honestly, I don't I'm still kind of in the stage where I don't really know how to talk about it, but I just know that it needs to be talked about.
Well, I could talk about it. I am an age regressor, and I'm very, very public about it. I have pictures of me with pacifiers online, and pictures of sippy cups, and I don't know. No one really ever says anything to me, although there was one girl who texted me and was like, I'm gonna tell your mom if you don't take these down. It was a stranger, literally, and I was like, dude, my mom already knows. I walk around the house with a pacifier, so it's fine. Regressing kind of helps. Well, actually, let me just start first off what it is if you don't know what regressing is. It's how do you explain that? There was a really good definition I saw the other day. I'm having trouble remembering the full.
I think regression is more when you it kind of comes on when you can't cope with your current reality, and a lot of people will cope in different ways, but sometimes regression just becomes the only thing you can really do to cope. And I think it's the word regression means to revert back to a certain stage. So I think the only way you can really cope if you're a regressor is to kind of shoot back to childhood, and some people will go really far, and I don't personally put any type of label on it. I just kind of regress. I don't know how to
Yeah, I'm very into the community and stuff, and I love being labeled as an age regressor. I mean, I know it's not something to glorify and stuff like that, but I want to be proud of the label because it is who I am a lot of the time. Not saying that Korah is not proud, but
I would honestly, that is a lot of the reason I want to talk about it, just because I'm not proud of it, and I feel like it's not something you should be ashamed about, but I am personally ashamed of it. I don't like hide it well, I do. You know, most people don't know that I do regress because it's not something that I feel comfortable coming out about, like a fear of judgment or like people taking it the wrong way. So it's something that I've kept really personal for a really long time, and I'm kind of just starting to discover that it doesn't have to be something you go through alone.
Have you ever had a play date with someone? Technically, this is kind of like a play date.
I feel like I've had a lot of play dates, but they just weren't labeled play dates. They're just kind of like little sessions of childlike wonder and joy that I don't really label as anything in particular, other than, you know, like when you're a kid, you know, people stop saying go play with your friend and they start saying go hang out with your friend. And that's another thing, is like, you know, the whole taboo on like regressing is, I think, really stupid. I don't think that there's any age limit on when you should stop being childlike.
Yeah. Also, I will put up a definition on the screen of like what it is, just because I don't feel qualified to give that definition.
Honestly, I thought I would be, but I don't think that I can like actually. It's kind of hard to explain. It's not like simple.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
Hello, baby cat.
Well, most of the time people regress, it's because of trauma. So that's like, I guess one big thing is, I guess there are some people who regress who don't have trauma, but I think that most people that I've met that age regress, it is due to childhood trauma.
Oh, by the way, this is something that like most people can't control. I know some people can like control if they're age regressing or not. Like they're like, oh, I'm gonna age regress right now. Well, like I feel like most people don't have that ability. Like it just happens, you know, like you randomly feel 5 or like
Yeah.
so it's not something that's like a choice or like controllable, if that makes sense. That I feel like that's a bad word to use on that.
Controllable. I
Like
think it's alright.
Look at this cool chalk.
I wonder if I could like.
here, wait, I'll
Really?
wait. You could do like the beauty group.
Yeah. Oh yeah, isn't that so pretty? It looks like those orange creamsicle pops, like not the pops, the like the suckers you can get on those big like spinny racks at the grocery store.
It does.
Or like my tobacco pipe.
Okay, this is what Korah is drawing. What is that?
I think it's a spider.
It does. Wait, kind of looks like a tick.
It does.
Sorry.
Actually, I hate ticks, but you're right. It does look like a tick.
We could name him the friendly tick.
Yeah, which is funny because sometimes I feel like a tick.
A friendly tick?
No.
At first, I was thinking we should do like a podcast on the other side of the room, and like you'll have your microphone and mine. Whoa.
Sorry, I'm like
No,
fascinated by
I
this
got
chalk.
distracted too. Does they all have glitter?
I don't think so. You want the glitter one? It has glitter all throughout it.
Yeah, I kind of do want the glitter one.
Here. I knew that you might.
Yay. Oh no, the wind is blowing my paper. Peekaboo. We watch this podcast called Relax. I feel like most people... No, it's probably not a common thing.
I don't think.
I feel like ear biscuits is more common.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We watched this podcast by Colleen, which is actually Miranda Sings, which most people know who that is. Like, whenever I say Colleen, they're like, who? And then I say Miranda Sings, they're like, oh, that girl? I'm like, what? What do you mean? Anyway,
This keeps... No.
they have a thing at the beginning of their podcast where they say who needs to relax, and in honor of them, we're thinking that we could do that too. But we can't think of anything. So how about our brains not thinking of anything needs to relax?
Homelessness needs to relax.
Yes, homelessness needs to relax.
But it's funny because if you go to, like, you know, bigger places like New York or San Francisco, you know, it's so rampant in those areas that it's a little disturbing, you know, once you realize how many people are actually homeless and how many people are in sort of similar situations, you know, where they, like, couldn't control becoming homeless. They're, like, physically or mentally incapable of getting jobs and getting on their feet. So all these people that people think are on, like, crack on the street, a lot of them are, you know, they've just been given a really bad hand in life. It's a lot crazier in some other places. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, even down here, like in Sacramento. Well, should we
Right.
not say our location?
Maybe we should cut that. Well, it's Sacramento's pretty big, I guess. So I guess, like, you know, it's not.
Yeah, okay. Well, where we live, where we are located at the moment, there are lots and lots of homeless camps and homeless people everywhere. Usually you don't see, like, too many of them just, like, roaming around because they're, like, in the homeless camp. But, like, there are a lot of homeless people here.
And I definitely feel like with women specifically, not to say that men don't have it, you know, because there's a stigma on that too, but, like, a lot of women I've noticed will steer clear of homeless camps because of the amount of, like, sexual assault that happens in them sometimes. You know, it's not really...
There's a hair.
Yeah, it's not really safe for some people, you know, if you're, like, viewed as easily taken advantage of. A lot of people don't feel comfortable sleeping in homeless camps, so they'll end up just finding a bush somewhere and kind of curling up behind it, you know.
Did I tell you that about my one friend? It was this, like, a girl you would never expect to be homeless, which, like, now I know that, like, anyone can be homeless. But back then when she told me this, I was like, what? You were homeless? Oh my god. Like, but she said she lived in a homeless camp, and sometimes she would go and she would walk down the street and look for little corners and crevices and, like, bushes to sleep in and, like, nice cozy spots. And, like, she said they were actually cozy to her at that point.
I feel like if you're, like, on your own, like, it, you know, a lot of people will think that any place to stay is better than no place to stay when you're homeless, but sometimes that cannot be the case. Like, I just willingly left somewhere that was really abusive and it was a place to sleep, but I chose to leave because sometimes, you know, even a couch to crash on can be worse than sleeping outside in the cold. In my opinion, I guess, or my experience.
Damn, I wish you could stay here.
Honestly, I'm okay with, you know, I think I've reached the point where I'm like, this was my breaking point. Like, when I got to Sacramento, I knew that I just needed to get over it and do things for myself and stop expecting help from people, because I don't accept help. So it's always the people that I wish would help me, like my mom or whatever, you know, that won't help. And then people that I, like, don't feel comfortable taking the help from will offer me money, you know, and I'm like, I'm not cool with that.
Like, strangers would be like, please take it.
Yeah, like,
no.
It's not even pity, it's just that I want to be able to say that I got on my feet on my own doing. And it's harder than it seems. You know, a lot of people like to make it sound like it's super easy to just hop up on your feet just like that, but it's, you know, in order to do some things, you need these things that you might just not have. So if you've ever tried to get your ID without a birth certificate or a social security, it's kind of like that. It just seems like a whole lot of useless sometimes. But there's always a way.
This slow process. Is that a bunny?
No, but it kind of looks like it.
Looks like a bunny nose. Or like a bunny skeleton.
It's just this is like a giant's nose. Like imagine, like fee fi fo fum. I smell the blood of a rabbit. I don't know.
Why does he have a pink nose?
Because he's sad.
Sad?
Yeah. He's got kind of fat eyes though. Looks like they're bulging a little bit.
Was there anything else we're going to talk about?
Probably, but I'm like having a hard time.
Oh yeah, wait, did we tell the origin story of Shiver Tunes?
I don't think we did.
Yeah, I don't think we did. So it was last winter. Yeah, last winter during December. I think it was Vlogmas. I might have footage from it. We're outside, like freezing our butts off, and we kept shivering over and over, and we couldn't stop. And we're like, hey, we should make a podcast called Shiver Tunes and do it in really cold weather and shiver the whole time while we're talking. And Korah somehow was like, yes, that's a great idea, let's do it.
Well, yeah, it is. But we're in summer.
Yeah.
Dot.
So
Actually fall now.
hopefully there will be some colder episodes coming though.
I also hope so.
Ooh, and we can also do that cool online podcast where we're on a screen and it's recorded on Streamlabs.
True. We should do it live someday.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Scary, but fun.
Yeah.
Because if I say a cuss word, you know it's over.
No, it's not over.
Like the C word.
Oh. I mean, some people might get sad, but I don't think you'd have to like delete the video.
I honestly, I'd want to.
Oh.
At that point, I'm like, that seat.
Like bleep bleep.
Bleep bleep. Yeah, you should actually. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I am gonna bleep this. Because if we ever get enough followers, we can monetize it, and if we have bleeps on it, we can monetize it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you
I
can.
think, yeah, I'm pretty sure as long as you like censor it.
Felix, what are you eating over there? There's a cat eating something mysterious.
Where is it? Oh. Probably grass. I saw that same cat eating a bush earlier.
A bush.
Just like snacking on a little like dead bush. Yeah, I think it was that one.
What should our outro be? Oh, I think.
Maybe not.
Well, if you made it to the end of this, thanks for watching.
Yeah, mahalo. I think chalk made me like brain dead, honestly. I just like got the chalk in my hand and immediately all of my thoughts kind of went out of the window.
That usually does happen to you when you're drawing. Like, you immediately like get super into drawing and then you're like, my brain is empty and everything is nice.
Yeah, people are like, did you hear me? I'm like, what?
Well, we'll see you next time on Shiver Tunes. Unless you don't come back, that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
We won't get our feelings hurt. Maybe a little.
Yeah, maybe like a little.
Maybe just a tiny bit. Like a smidgen.
Okay. Bye.